What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog, back in Standard with an Abzan kicker list. That's right, still messing around with kicker. Abzan, so we don't have Rooster Drakes in blue, obviously, to get the real kicker payoff. But there's still some cool things you can do with kicker, some nice little payoffs besides that, and just kind of some cool things you can do in kicker. And Abzan is a pretty fun color combination, so let's jump into it here. So not really much in the way of kicker for white. There's only like 2 cards with kicker, and the other one doesn't really seem that playable, but Kitesail Cleric is at least pretty solid creature here. 1 mana, 1/1 flyer, so there you go. It's already pretty solid right there. We can kick it for a total of 4 mana, and tap up to 2 target creatures, so pretty reasonable. We got 4 copies of Bloodchief Thirst, which is just one of the better removal cards in Standard right now. Also has kicker on it, so there you go. 3 copies of Reclaim the Waste. So we are playing a 3-color deck, so having a little bit of a ways to fix while triggering a kicker can be pretty solid. So one mana, we get to search for a basic land, reveal it, put it into our hand. And then for a kicker, for additional 3 mana, generic mana at that, we get to search for 2 basic lands instead of 1. Again, they both go to your hand, but that's fine. We got 3 copies of Nullpriest of Oblivion, just one of the better cards, really, from Zendikar Rising, in my opinion. 2 mana, 2/1, Menace, Lifelink. You can kick it for additional 4 mana, so 6 total. And you get a creature back from the graveyard straight to the battlefield. 4 copies of Skyclave Shade. Speaking of creatures that come from the graveyard straight to the battlefield, 3/1 for 2 mana that can't block. However, if you can kick it, it comes in with 2+ encounters on it. And anytime a land enters the battlefield under control, if it's in your graveyard, we can cast it from our graveyard at this turn. So this is fantastic, pretty much at any stage of the game. And yeah, just very recursive threat. Your opponent has to have some real exile removal or just really big beefy creatures, like maybe Elder Grogroth is kind of one of the only things that can really slow this thing down. Moving on here, we have 3 copies of Inscription of Abundance. Easily the best inscription here that we got from Zendikar. 2 mana instant speed or kicker additional 3, so 5 total mana. For 2 mana, we get to choose 1 mode, and for 5 mana, we get to choose all 3 modes. So put 2+ encounters on a creature. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, and target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So just a nice removal spell, very versatile. Gives you a bit of life gain back against the sort of more aggro matchups. Makes your creatures a little bit bigger. So Vine Gecko is one of our kicker payoffs here. 2 mana, 2/2 that reduces the cost of your first kick spell each turn. And whenever you cast a kick spell, you put a + encounter on your Vine Gecko. So this works really well in combination with Inscription of Abundance in particular, but just in general with all of our kicker spells, we can make this grow really, really big. And with all those counters on it, it makes it hard for your opponent to deal with if Heartless Act is their primary removal spell, which makes the most played, that and Bloodchief's Thirst. Speaking of removal spells, Chevill, Bane of Monsters. So with kicker, definitely want to have some kind of a card draw engine. Like in the blue versions I've built before, we have other ways of drawing cards, but in Abzan, not so much. So we're going to lean on things like Chevill to be our card draw engine here. 2 mana, 1/3, Death Touch. Beginning of your upkeep, put a bounty counter on a permanent. And whenever a permanent an opponent controls with bounty counter on it does, you gain 3 and draw a card. So we're going to leverage our inscriptions, our Bloodchief's Thirst, and things like that, and just kind of being aggressive with our Skyclave Shade to maybe, force our opponent to block, and then their creature dies because it has, 3 power or 5 power potentially if it has the counters on it from being kicked. And of course, Chevill has Death Touch itself, so it can trigger itself. And being an Abzan, we get to play Mythos of Nethroi. All 4 copies here, just fantastic. Favorite removal spell here in Standard. 3 mana, instant speed, destroy any non-land permanent as long as you spend Abzan colors. So 2 copies of Bala Ged Recovery. It's a green mana source, or we can pay 3 at sorcery speed to return any card from our graveyard back to our hand. So we can get those removal spells back, get our Chevill back, Vine Gecko, Inscription. So being able to replace spells actually works really well in this style of list. Speaking of that, we also have Murasa Sproutling. It's kind of our other kicker payoff, if you will. 3 mana, 3/3. That's okay. However, you can kick it for additional 2, and if it's kicked, you return a card with a kicker ability from our graveyard to our hand. So we're definitely leaning more into the grindier side of things. We got our Chevill card draw engine, we got our Vine Gecko, reducing the casting cost of things. We got our Skyclave Shade that is fantastic in the late game as well. And then we got the Murasa Sproutling to kind of get any of our kicker spells back to our hand to get them later on. We can still get our Bala Ged Recovery. It also gives us a little bit more recursion, things like that. We also have 2 copies of Hagra Mauling removal or a black mana source. Finally, we have Turntimber Symbiosis and Agadeem's Awakening. Turntimber Symbiosis for 7 total mana. You have to look at the top 7 cards, reveal a creature. Among them, it's mana cost 3 or less, which is everything in our deck. It's going to come out with 3 +1 counters on it. And Agadeem's Awakening lets us get creatures back from the graveyard straight to the battlefield. Depending on how much X is, we can get, our Kitesail Cleric, maybe a Vine Gecko or a Chevill, and then maybe a Murasa Sproutling. So we can definitely, for 6 mana, we get some pretty solid value off Agadeem's Awakening. And we have no problem running these because white is just our splash color. But we do want enough white to kick a Kitesail Cleric, and of course we need white for our Mythos of Nethroi. So we're running 2 planes to go along with ours. 3 swamp, 3 forest, all the pathways here, Brightclimb and Branchloft, and then all 4 of the Triomes, of course. Sideboard here, we got some nice hand A here and 3 Agonizing Remorse and 3 Kitesail Freebooters. We're going to mess with those control decks, hopefully. A couple Scavenging Ooze is going to be our graveyard hate. Also, Elspeth's Nightmare can kind of help out with that as well. Works great against rogues and things like that. Destroy some of their smaller creatures. Then look at their hand and then exile their graveyard. Necromentia for Ugin and other kind of linear type strategies. A couple Extinction Events. We can definitely take on a more controlling route. We have plenty of removal, so we can just kind of take a little bit more control route, slow roll some of our creatures, or play whatever we want, knowing that we're going to exile a certain odd or even, and we kind of play around it and just kind of get rid of Scoot Swarms or whatever your opponent go wide strategy might be. And a couple copies of Polukranos, some additional help for the mill type strategies, or if we just need to maybe go a little bit bigger with 4 mana 6/6. That can fight things as well. So yeah, there's a deck. We'll jump into some matches. Okay, Sandokan 618. Gonna try some ranked here against my better judgments. We'll see how we do. Yeah, we can just drop one of these Hagra Maulings here as a black mana source. Maybe get our Chevill online and go from there. Oh, Triome works as well. Perfect. Showing Selesnya so far. Okay, counters. Selesnya counters. And just firing off the light of hope. Not even waiting to see what we're doing. They're just gonna go for it. Gotta put that counter on Swarm Shambler. Even though I already got one. Probably need another black mana source. So I'll probably drop one of these Hagra Maulings as a land. No bounty counter, so if they attack here, we're not going to block. Opponent's dumping their hand. I'm not sure why they're not saving these. Oh, Vine Gecko is pretty interesting. Yeah, let's get our Vine Gecko online. Right, Hagra Mauling. I'll say no attacks. Just kind of play defense here. Untap land will be great, then we can Hagra Mauling the Swarm Shambler. They're going to get a 1/1, but we're going to gain 3, draw a card. And just get that off the board at least. Wow, they're just firing off all the tricks. Not sure why they're not just saving those for, combat tricks. That's kind of what they're for. Like, they're not even attacking. Okay. Not sure I understand our opponent's strategy here. Well, not really have anything in the yard for Bala Ged. So I think we're just going to drop that. I mean, this Kitesail could come in handy. It's tempting to attack in, but I think we'll save. Save our Chevill on defense. They don't seem interested in attacking. Otherwise, I have pretty easy attacks with just these 2 Gecko and Nullpriest back. Okay, I'm definitely going to block that. Nope. Yeah, you can have. Well, yeah, you can have a 1/1. They just wasted like their entire hand pumping up a single creature. Not sure I understand. Still no attacks. Probably a reclaim here just to get some more lands out. I mean, they're not really doing much, so we definitely want to start to be a little bit more aggressive. But that was a timely trick from them. We do have the Nullpriest coming online here pretty soon. Let's reclaim. We get a reduction here with our Vine Gecko. Guess we'll grab a second white source and black. We already played land. Alright, so next turn we can kick this Mythos, or not Mythos, but Nullpriest, get our Chevill back. Horn Beetle. All the Dauntless Survivors. Nice. They're growing their team over there. Man, super greedy, but I think we're gonna go for it. Alright, got our Chevill back. I think we still just hold on to the Kitesail, try to get some kicker value off of it. Just a land. Castle Ardenvale is a good one. Horn Beetle continues to grow. I think we'll target that with our Chevill trigger. And then we'll Inscription, blow it up. Alright, play the land they know about. Fire you off, you get the cost reduction. Put the counters there. I'll gain some life. Creature I control, creature we don't control. And look at all that life. We can. Oh no, we can't kick because we already. Say no attack still. We already kicked our first spell, so don't get the reduction after that. Another Horn Beetle. Could have shot the Survivor down in response to the Horn Beetle, but I'd rather wait and get this trigger. Brightclimb. Alright, fire you off. It doesn't matter. It's a creature. Let's draw a card first. Murasa Sproutling. We can kick that. Get what do we got? Reclaim, or I mean Inscription. Seems pretty good. Now we're cooking with fire. All right. I'm fine with attacking with an 8/8. We're at 36 life, so be a little bit slower here. So they know about Inscription. They don't know about this Kitesail Cleric. We can kind of use that as our finisher, if you will. Tap down any defenders they might be holding on to. We do have Menace on these Nullpriests. Horn Beetle is probably the biggest threat. Alright, well, Inscription is still probably our best option. Yeah. All three modes. Put the counters on a Nullpriest. And we'll fight you. Boom. Look at that. Look at that value. Another Vine Gecko. I think this actually triggers, right? Now we have a new one? We can't. Even if you play a new Vine Gecko, you still don't get the... yeah, let's go for it. We can Mythos in response as well, if we don't like their blocks. But their top deck mode, I think we just need to really get them as low as possible. I'm not sure about the math there. I think they had at least some chump blocks. Alright. So all that removal worked out pretty good for us. So 2. Beetle's a 2. A lot of 2 drops here. So might want the Extinction Events. Nightmare. I mean, their creatures can grow, so Nightmare might be a whiff. Polukranos is okay. I'm not sure we need it here. Necromentia. Is there one card we want to name with that? I mean, that game went pretty well, so I think we just kind of don't overdo it. But obviously they're going first here, so taking the Extinction Events, just kind of a panic button, a safety button, if you will. Should be nice insurance to keep them from you know, swarming us. Very creature heavy, but they also have lots of combat tricks. But they fired them all off at sorcery speed, so I'm not sure how adept they are actually using them appropriately. It's not ideal, but we do have turn 1 Bloodchief or Reclaim. I'm going to drop our Bala Ged here onto as well. So at least 2 lands, some playable spells here. Ways to get lands. Dauntless Survivor. Found the land. Yeah, I'm going to kill that one now. We could save Bala Ged maybe to get Bloodchiefs or something back, but I'd rather just make sure we hit our land drops here. Next time we have Vine Gecko plus Bloodchief or Reclaim. See what they have. Hornbill. Alright. We still play this on green. Vine Gecko, and yeah, just kill everything they play. They have a lot of combat tricks, so if they run out of creatures and don't have anything to, you know, put counters on with their little trixies. And thanks to Vine Gecko, we can actually kick our Reclaim the Wastes. Since instead of 4, it's 3 total manas. Grab a white and a black source. It does show up like that. So maybe we did have the Kitesail kicked last time. I didn't have that little highlighted thing around it, so maybe we had it there. All right, white black. Play crash in for 3 of the manas. Sproutling can come down next turn and get a Bloodchief Surge back as well, so we're in pretty good shape. Don't even need this Extinction Event. We're able to find our spot removal. But it is there in case they do have some, you know, some crazy way to flood the board here, but not looking like it. Let's have Nullpriest, but yeah, nothing really to get back. So we'll just kick our Sproutling here. Okay, get the removal. We got 6 lands coming. Might even be worth it just to play the Kitesail at this point. Just get another flyer on board. So they didn't have any flying or reach that we saw. We're missing out on a potential kicker, but just having bodies and going pedal to the metal at this point might be our best bet. Conclave Mentor. Okay, so they're going to gain some life when we kill that. Oh, and they have the Idyllic Range. And their 2-color deck. I didn't get the Conclave Mentor, so they're going to gain a bunch of life. Yikes. Get Extinction Event, but then we lose our Vine Gecko, so not really ideal. They're going to gain a bunch of life back, but we do need to deal with this. So 2 counters. We'll get an additional counter from the kicked, so yeah. So 2 counters from Inscription, plus it triggers and gets an additional counter for kicking a spell. And gain a bunch of life, which is good for them, but we're going to hit you for a lot. Better worth it to play Nullpriest there, just get even more creatures on the board, but 7, 10, we're already staring at lethal on board. And they don't seem to have anything going on in hand. So, yeah. Pretty nice matchup there for game 1. We'll take it. Alright, against Angel Olara. Alright. Yeah, seems pretty solid to me. Turn 2 Skyclave, turn 3 Mythos. Some Sproutlings here. Gruel. Alright, Skyclave Shade, come on down. Let's play one of these on green, one on white. Alright, Gruul, what do you got? Oh yeah, 70 cards. Gotta love it. Oh yeah, Almighty Brushwag. Respect for that. This thing can get dangerous later on. So we just go ahead and get that off the board and not worry about it. And guarantee we get in for a 3. Let's see if they block there and then just play a land and replay it. And save our Mythos. If we make a case for that. Oh, Scorching Dragonfire. They got the exile removal. Savage. Savage. Alright, Chevill and Skyclave. Well, we got our Chevill online, but I can draw some removal, maybe kill something. Nope, just gonna cultivate. Well, we got an attack here for 3, or 4, I mean. Land. So we can just play one of them, just get a body down. Just a Mythos in our graveyard, so not really too much value in holding on to them. They cultivated for 2 forests, and they have just the 1 red mana source. Almighty Brushwag with mana open to activate. Not anymore though, they play Iroan Games. And we cannot draw very well right here, but we got our Chevill. We got plenty of good removal, so we'll find something. And they're gonna have to block at some point. We have 2 white sources in play already, so yeah, just get that on green. Pass. I'll save our Sproutling. Maybe we can get some value off of it. Find a top deck of Bloodchief's Thirst. Alright, put the counters on the Brushwag, which has Trample. Uh-oh. So hitting for 16. Yikes. And they kill our... Wow. We're gonna block the Sproutling, but not the Shade. I guess they don't want us to kick it. I probably should have killed in response. Oops. Not playing optimally. And they janked us out pretty hard there with that Unleash Fury ram through Iroan Games combination they just pulled off there. Basically, I want them to try to do something like that. Just commit more spells. You have another one? Nope. Wonder what they're holding in hand. Just a Hornbash Mentor. Alright, well, we got lethal here. Yep. Counters there. Target me. You can fight you. Whew, that was a pretty close game. They almost had us there. The Almighty Brushwag. Man. Whatever do we do? I'm not sure what the ramp is for. A lot of tricks they can do here. So you have Brushwag, which already has Mentor. I mean, Trample. And then you have the Mentor that gives it Trample, but it does put a counter on it. Pretty slow, though. Polukranos. I mean, it goes pretty big. I might not need to do anything. We could try to steal some of their tricks out of their hand. Could do that. Should reclaim and just hope we naturally draw lands. Alright, try it. So we lose some kicker spells, but we get a look at their hand and get some of those tricks out. Ram throughs or whatever. Well, that seems okay. We'll try it. Probably lead on. No. I'll probably want the Shade first in case they don't have a creature. Or if they do, we just swing in and maybe we'll just do the land since we don't have any removal in hand. Attack 3 if they block, and they don't. They're just going for the ramp. Alright, Triome was a nice draw. We're pretty mana hungry, so I think we still play it out, even though we have plenty of lands in hand. Probably just hang on to the Bala Ged as a way to get something back. We got Kitesail Cleric with kicker next turn. Let's play one of these on white. Ooh, Rada. That can get pretty scary. Oh, man. They just had to have the shock there, didn't they? We do have Bala Ged to get it back, I guess. Alright, Rada has first strike on her turn, but now it's a trade. So I think we hold the Kitesail for kicker. Next turn we play this on black, Bala Ged the Vine Gecko, put it down, and go from there. Oh, my dude. That's all the removal this time. Yeah, put something back in their library. You're looking for lands, or... Oh, it's a pretty great draw. We're not doing so hot here. Do we Bala Ged our Chevill back? Let's see. We want Chevill and just hope we can find some removal. Sure. Let's get our Shade back later on. Can't block anyway, so. Alright, now we get a 6/6 Rada. We really need to find some removal here pretty quick. Don't want them drawing cards this time. But we're kind of at the mercy of our what's on top of our library, so we'll see. Have a Symbiosis in hand, but probably gonna be dead before we can cast that. Ooh. Wildspeaker for 6 cards. That's insane. But then they're going to draw 2 more next turn. Imagine they're going to be overhanded. Nope. Land they can play. They got the 1-mana Almighty Brushwag. Yeah, we're not doing so good here. They don't even attack. Wow. Yeah, I think we need to dig for some removal here. Not removal. Alright. Well, we're 1 land closer to removal, right? I don't think we're winning this one. They got pretty insane card advantage. Killed our first couple creatures we played. Weren't able to get any of our engine really online. I don't think we're winning this one. Yeah, just have insane card advantage on us. Alright. Extinction Event. I mean, it's hard to really bring Extinction in. I mean, they're doing all this, like, kind of tricky stuff. Try Remorse instead. Maybe we can give ourselves some options. Maybe hit a creature or something. All the 2-drops. Now we gotta kind of have to choose where we want to begin. Probably Chevill, I guess. Okay, so they have a shock in hand. Let's see if they have a fire prophecy here they can fire off. Or a scorching dragonfire. Nullpriest. So we're finding all the 2-drops. We're gonna fire this off. We want to see what they got going on. They've been holding a shock or something. Alright, so they have a 3-mana creature which they can play next turn. Or they have the 2 3-mana creatures. I guess the Fable. I don't know if that's right, but you can have your 4 2s. Kitesail Cleric. Alright, let's Nullpriest. Vine Gecko. So now they have multiple targets for shock. Alright, let's attack. See if I want to play a creature or well, they have multiple spells open to them. They can shock plus play their creature, they can shock, unleash fury, ram through. We really need this Vine Gecko to live, so maybe they'll target the Nullpriest. Okay, still have a shock open. And they're going to shock the Vine Gecko. I really wanted that Vine Gecko to survive. And we'll be able to kick our Inscription, but as it is, we're in a pretty tight spot here. Just gonna go for it. Mythos. Alright. We are 1-mana flyer here. Since they have so many tricks in hand, I'd rather just kind of keep them off of creatures every chance we get. Okay, so they have Unleash Fury, which they can cast, and they have an unknown spell in hand. So we're gonna wait, let them play out their card, and then we'll Mythos in response. Okay, land. I ruin games, don't like that. That's a 1/1 flyer. Nothing on board. It's going to really affect your decision here, I wouldn't imagine. Alright, well, they're not playing it, so we'll kill that. Okay, my dude. Skyclave Shade. Sure. Just gonna run out these clerics and just try to really put some pressure on them. We're gonna have a 4/4 token here. Pretty frustrating, not really getting our package online the way we wanted. I mean, they killed every single creature before we could really get any solid value off of it. And now they're about to refill their hand. They can hit us for 8 if they want. I assume they'll fire this off. Okay. Why do you keep looking at my cleric, dude? It's not consequential to anything that's going on. You want to play your spell, or... Okay. Cool. Another land. Alright, well, we need to protect our life total here, so... I'm gonna kick you. Get our inscription back. Give us some removal. Draw a couple cards here. It's a nice refill from our opponent. One of them is a land, at least. So many removal spells that line up against us very well, and they've drawn them very timely. Like that. Like, come on, dude. Alright, we're gonna block. Can you pass priority? There we go. Okay, Inscription, we're gonna deal with this 4/3, or 4/4 I should say. One card in hand, unknown. They know about our Inscription, but they haven't really been playing around stuff too proactively, so I'm not sure what their plan is. We're gonna always try. Okay, you knew this what we had. I'm sure you thought of a response if you had one. Okay. I was gonna die anyway, but sure. Alright, we'll save our pathway next turn to kick our Shade. Of course, they found a creature. It would be nice to dodge one at least once. Like, come on, my dude. Can't block, but they can't attack. We have to try on Wiccan Cycle. Try to dig for like a Mythos or something. Bloodchief's Thirst. Oh my goodness, deck. Hey, just take it. Okay. Still land. Wow. Well, we have ways to trigger our Skyclave Shade. Well, we finally decided to block here. Alright, we got a 5/3 on board. What do you got? Just a land. Oh my goodness. Well, we need a removal or for them to not have a creature here. It's not going to cut it. Do they even have any landfall? They don't have any landfall. I don't understand. I don't understand. Whew. That was a rough one. We got there, though. We got there, man. Platinum 3. Hey, not too bad. All right, Abzan Kicker, super fun list. Arena client being super slow. Yeah, the Chevill just gives doesn't have kicker obviously, but does give the deck a nice dimension since we have plenty of good removal spells in Abzan colors. Bloodchief Source, of course, already has the kicker, and then we get Mythos, which is just a fantastic, fantastic removal spell. Then you have Skyclave Shade, which is very resilient. Works great early on turns like 2 and 3. Works great in the late game where you can kick it. And, you know, flood out like we did there. We were able to get this as a 5-3 and really pressure our opponent's life total. Bala Ged, you know, we get some of our removal back, our creatures back, kind of whatever. And then Reclaim Waste, it's just kind of a nice way to fix our land since we are 3 colors, but also it's kind of a pretty easy to cast way to kicker. And then Vine Gecko can get really, really big and be a very imposing threat for your opponent. And it works extremely well with Inscription of Abundance because they'll get additional counter from kicking this spell. And it gets the counters from Inscription if that's what you choose to target. So those work really, really well together. And yeah, we can kind of take advantage of some of the... so we have a lot of, you know, cheaper spells here. We can kind of take advantage of some of these like Bala Ged Recovery and Hagra Mauling, things like that. They can kind of come in tapped as lands if we need them to be, or we can play them as spells later on. Things like that. Bloodchief Source, of course, fantastic. Kitesail Cleric, don't really get a chance to shine in those matchup, but it was certainly nice having that option to hold it up if we needed to, you know, tap down some creatures. Definitely matchups where that's going to come in handy. And sometimes you're just going to cast this with kicker just to kind of maybe get some triggers with like Vine Gecko, things like that. Of course, you can always bring it back with the Murasa Sproutling and then just play it for, you know, single mana just to get another chump blocker, or maybe just attacking creature. Because a lot of decks don't really have good ways to deal with flyers outside of hard removal. Sideboard here, we have some nice options, obviously, for you know, the control decks. Already pretty friendly as far as the creature matchups, with the Cleric being kind of like tempo-y. Then we got the Bloodchief Thirst, we got the Chevill, and we got the Mythos and Inscription package, along with Hagra Mauling. Of course, to really you know, hit those creature-heavy decks already, so we don't need that much more in the sideboard. We can kind of worry about, you know, go wide strategies like an Extinction Event, and Elspeth's Nightmare does give us a little bit of help against some of those matchups. As well. So we can kind of more focus on the control deck, kind of more control mid-rangey decks with like Kitesail Freebooter and Agonizing Remorse that can kind of come in against those various matchups. And then Polukranos, just kind of a little bit of a beefier threat here, since a lot of our creatures are pretty small. You know, the Gecko's a 2/2, Chevill, Sproutling's just a little 3/3. Skyclave Shade is obviously a pretty nice threat, but yeah. I think Polukranos definitely gives us the deck another dimension, and especially with all the mill and rogues running around, which works pretty well. We have lots of hand hate, so don't need to lean on Necromentia too much, except for, you know, like Ugins and things like that, and then we can kind of deal with all the removal with these guys right here, and we still get some nice kicker value with the Gecko and Sproutling package. Nullpriest is pretty sweet to get your creatures back as well, and yeah. It's kind of a fun little deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, make sure you jank with Bert.